Welcome to the Hammer Smash Podcast.
What's going on, guys? Today we're going to be talking about,
we're going to be talking about Jesus Christ and all of his achievements and shit.
Right.
It's going to be awesome.
That is so fucking white. I know. Today we're talking about a little fun category of metal called black metal.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're not familiar with it, go to your local church and ask them about it. If it's still there and intact.
Yeah. For anyone who doesn't know, black metal is what Christians think all metal is.
Yeah. Which it's basically just a bunch of fucking devil worshipping and yeah.
It's edgy teenagers writing love poems to Satan is the gist
basically.
of it.
Legit black metal, like old school black metal. I mean, I'm talking like late 80s, early 90s black metal.
Yeah.
Is where it really is at. If you want to listen to black metal, that's where I would go. Bands like Mayhem, Bathory, Hellhammer, fucking Immortal, Emperor.
I fucking love Bathory.
Celtic Frost, whatever the fuck you want to call it.
I think it's Celtic Frost.
We're going to get into a little bit of like, like the history, like what kind of bands, well, I guess I just listened to the bands that really started it, but
yeah. We're going to get into like certain subgenres of it too, because
the history of the genre, some of the controversy, which is going to be the funnest part.
Yeah.
You guys don't know about that. There was more than one murder. There was a suicide, over 40 counts of arson.
Yeah, there's animal abuse.
Technically 3 murders, if you count a firefighter that died.
Yeah, which I do. People skip him, but I think that he deserves to be counted.
Yep. Nazism, homophobia, fucking just a bunch of vile shit. And it was just basically a bunch of edgelords like trying to out badass each other, I guess.
It was a pissing contest among edgy teenagers.
Right. So if you can't tell already, we're just making ourselves look the part today. It's probably gonna look like shit after we're both done, but you know what? Whatever. It's okay.
Yeah. It's about the experience.
In fact, if you guys have any face paint you want to share with us,
have any face paint at home? That was the time where you start putting on your face paint. I wish Bob Ross was black metal. That'd be pretty fucking sick.
Yeah.
Happy little inverted cross here.
That's just minds right there.
And just beat the Jesus out of it.
So, Paxton, let's talk about some of your favorite black. I know black metal is kind of new for you still.
Yeah.
You recently just got into the genre, so I want to hear from you. Like, what are some of your favorite artists that you discovered?
As it stands right now, I'm really into Dark Throne, Bathory, Order of Nosferatu.
Dark Throne is another really important band.
They go hard as shit. In more recently formed bands, Order of Nosferatu, they're like vampire themed, melodic black metal. It's fucking amazing. And then 1914, I believe is the name of the band. They are World War I themed black metal. Not technically war metal, it's just war themed black metal. But I've also gotten into war metal, like Blasphemy and Naked Whipper. There's this very atmospheric black metal band called Nort, and I don't know how to pronounce any of their song titles or anything like that. But basically, it's just 10 minutes of like horror movie ambience with Gollum masturbating in the background.
Yeah,
and it's fucking vile sounding, but I love it. It's so good. I found them by accident.
Well, masturbating in the background.
Yeah, dude, it's just like. And then like you hear shit. It's like, Jesus Christ. But it's like, it's addictive to listen to.
Hell yeah.
And now, here's the worst part of putting on face paint for anyone with, like, long facial hair, is the part where, like, you start putting streaks in it. Because I don't like the solid white beard look. I like to have black streaks in there, but it hurts to run paint through your beard.
This paint I'm using is awfully wet, and I don't think it's ever going to dry.
I don't think so either, buddy. I don't know if that's the paint you should have used.
No.
And for context, for anyone wondering, he's not using face paint. He's using just non-toxic paint.
I'm using paint.
Yeah.
It's just paint. I'm going to look like this probably for work tomorrow, too.
But yeah, black metal is, depending on what...
Because we're talking about black metal, but yeah.
Yeah. So depending on what scene of black metal you're getting into, you will either be met with a very welcoming experience or a very hateful experience.
Oh, yeah.
And so, like, believe it or not, which I was shocked, the people in the war metal community, with the exception of, like, the elitists who are like, this isn't war metal, but, like, the normal people, they are some of these sweetest fucking people on the planet.
Yeah.
Like, nicest fucking people. They don't have a bad thing to say about anybody. When you get into National Socialist black metal, on the other hand,
oh, yeah,
they have some pretty rough opinions about people who look different.
Yeah. There's a lot of, like, really shitty... I mean, that goes back to the beginning of black metal. I mean, everybody knows the fucking meme lord, fucking Varg Verkiness.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's
the fucking Lord of the Rings nerd.
Bursum. The fucking edgelord himself is a national socialist, so.
Uh-huh. Oh, I didn't get paint on my tongue. It was just my mouth.
This is gonna be so bad, dude. I look like the fucking... This looks so bad. I look so bad. Like, this is...
it will be okay.
It's fucking terrible. I love it.
It's good. Dude, the more DIY it is, the more black metal it is.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
I just look like the fucking... Like, some dumbass kid trying to look like the fucking Joker from Dark Knight.
Well, sometimes you just gotta go for it.
Shit off a little bit. I just look like a dumbass. I love it.
When it comes to black metal, there are a ton of shitty fucking people, but there are also a ton of good people.
Oh yeah. I think that kind of goes. I mean, that goes for like even death metal. There's a lot of like really shitty dudes in death metal too. It comes with the territory, man. Like for every really shitty person, there's probably a lot more good people.
Yeah.
Dickheads usually speak the loudest, so
they get the most attention just because they're louder than everybody else, but it doesn't represent the overall opinions of the people.
Some bands I'd like to note that I really love, a band called Karak Ongren. I think Ongren. I can't remember. I think it might be from like Netherlands or something, but they're like storytelling black metal.
Yeah.
They have like a lot of like ghost stories and shit, which is really fucking badass. Watain is another pretty intense black metal band, but those guys are actually like practicing like Luciferians. Like it's not a joke to them. They're like actually like serious.
Yeah.
Which is another band we'll talk about in controversy. Like they were in the news from a show that they did in Brooklyn. I know, dude. It's so bad. Oh, it's louder. No. It looks cute, dude.
Yeah.
Since they're not really a part of like the OG history, like as far as like controversy goes, I'll go in and tell. They played a show in Brooklyn, and they basically sprayed down the entire crowd with fucking like fermented pig's blood, I believe.
Yeah.
But they basically had to evacuate the entire fucking venue.
Which isn't the best way to make money.
No, and well, the thing is like they served food at this venue. So there's this fucking rotten pig blood just like in the fucking air. Like they were like spraying the crowd down. So like it was like you didn't have a choice.
Yeah, that's just I feel like that's too much, even for the sake of theatrics. There's a point, you know.
Sorry, I'm very distracted. This isn't one of those episodes where I can just kind of keep going and going. As you can see, I look like a fucking moron, but
I think I did halfway okay.
you did pretty good, dude. Yeah, I'm still working on this, like whatever this is. I just look like a jackass.
I really think you should have gotten like body paint and not that.
Oh, I know. This is just fucking a nightmare. I look like the scene in Miss Doubtfire where she sticks her head in a flaming cake.
Oh shit. Well, in the meantime, I kind of learned a little bit of history about war metal that I can get into. I don't know the black metal history overall, but I know a good bit about war metal history. We're starting with a band called Sarcophago. They were thrash, but they were the same like evil fucking. They were basically Slayer, but for like that part of the world, which I think they're from Portugal, if I remember right. But anyway, but they were like the big evil boys of their little
Those
scene.
Polons are fucking metal, dude.
Oh yeah, Portugal is sick as fuck. But they influenced black metal the same way that Slayer did, by having like that extreme fucking Satan sound. So their style specifically was very important to war metal. And when war metal started, which people are gonna fucking get pissed at me over this, I don't give a shit. War metal was started by Blasphemy in Canada. I don't give a fuck who you cite. Blasphemy is the beginning of actual war metal, because there were a ton of bands who kind of were like tiptoeing towards that. Blasphemy was the first boys to like really put that shit on paper. They did it with Fallen Angel of Doom. Amazing album. Fucking amazing. If you ever get a chance to listen to like their albums or their demos, it's so fucking good. Another really important part of black metal, or specifically war metal, is the album art. For whatever reason, 90% of war metal bands decided on black and white with a red logo, and a ton of them went to Chris Moyen. Do you know who that is?
I don't, actually.
So Chris Moyen is an artist. He, you know the Mortician demo, Brutally Mutilated?
Yes.
He did the artwork for that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but most of his like big shit is from the war metal scene. Like he does art for anybody and everybody, and it's all so fucking good. And he always draws like very erotic goat humans.
All right.
I fucking love his art so much. Like, I'm sure he'd be annoyed by me because I like to ask a ton of questions and I get very hyper over things, but I would fucking love to meet Chris Moyen. Unless he's a piece of shit, but I don't know.
We need to do some research, and if he's not a piece of shit, we should have him on the fucking show.
Absolutely. But yeah, like, Chris Moyen does really good artwork. Naked Whipper is a band I think that he's done album art for. So fucking good. Another thing is, like, apparently and Neltroad. Neltroad is really good war metal. But, and Kapala. I keep getting sidetracked, but fucking war metal and Bestial Black apparently are like the exact same thing, but people get mad if you say that. I cannot make a distinction. If you Google Bestial Black metal and war metal, you're gonna get the same shit. Like I don't fucking care what little distinction people want to draw. It's the same. They're both good. It's just that people are like, war metal is like more akin to death metal, and Bestial Black is this, and it's like they sound exactly alike, dude. Calm down. We're all friends here. This is another
thing to make a note of. You're gonna hear a lot of that with the whole like black metal thing. Like you're gonna hear a lot of those guys when it comes to the history.
I've run into two.
I've
run into two thus far. Just casually chatting about black metal because it's new, so it's like, well, it's new to me, so it's like, oh. But I'll talk to people about it, and they are either the nicest people on the planet, like, because media and like certain members of the black metal community, they like to build it up that they're these like big evil fucking hate-filled creatures of the night. But when you actually interact with them, they're just so fucking kind.
Yeah.
So I've talked to people in the black metal community, and they're like, "Oh, dude, because I told them, I was like, yo, I'm new to it. I'm trying to get into it. What's your take on it? What are your bands that you like? Shit like that." And they're always like, "Oh, if you're like, what are you into outside of it?" And I'm gonna give you all these recommendations, and I'm gonna give you all these like facts and history and stuff like that, and it's really fascinating. But then I'll run into people where it's like, "You've been listening to metal how long, and you're just now getting into black metal? What the fuck is wrong with you?" It's like, dude, chill the fuck out. We're friends. Shut up. But it's, dude,
What?
it's like beating up in your beard.
Oh, I know. It's so bad. I just look like a fucking lime.
Jesus Christ, man. From now on, if we're gonna do corpse paint, get Babisuka is the brand. Get this shit. It's inexpensive.
Man, this is working. This is perfect.
Is it working? We're 17 minutes in, and you've only done white, and it's not dry. Jesus Christ. What's black metal that you enjoy?
Let's see. I really like old fucking Mayhem. Is really sick. The Death Crush album, obviously. Let's see. I love Dark Throne. Dark Throne is really fucking sick. Let's see. Emperor is fucking amazing too. Immortal is fucking incredible. I think I showed you Immortal recently.
I think you did.
Let's see. I prefer like the old shit, like the early 90s black metal.
Yeah.
Bathory is another really incredible band.
I've really gotten into Bathory, dude. Like, they go so fucking hard.
Sick, dude. They're fucking awful.
The last song I listened to and like actually cried was a Home of Once Brave. I don't know what it's about, but it's like, it sounds very sad.
Yeah.
I don't condone anyone's political affiliation, just in case.
Oh yeah, I also want to put that out there. I don't know these people or what their political beliefs are.
Yeah. I just enjoy the music. I don't know them. I probably won't ever know them because most of them are from like different countries. So there's a black metal artist who my phone can't recognize my face. There's a black metal artist that I found on Instagram because his videos got promoted to me. And he does like atmospheric, like melodic type of black metal. Sorger Ikar. It's really fucking good. Like if you like the atmospheric melodic stuff, it's fucking mint.
Gorgoroth goes pretty fucking hard too.
Hell yeah. I had a when I was living in South Carolina, I was like still in high school. There was my friend, Cambo, as I call him. He was really getting into metal too. And I'm not sure if he was like watching Loudwire videos or not, but I feel like he was. Because he would come to school and he'd be like, "There's this band that did this thing." And I was like, I have no idea what you're talking about. But he would have like, I think at one point he was talking about Gorgoroth. Because it was like, there's this black metal band and they're like super evil, but I don't know what they are. And I remember that vividly because we were standing in the hot fucking sun passing out like gallons of milk and to like people who were pulling through. And he was at this Christian establishment, and me and him were just talking about black metal and death metal. Just like, yeah, like this, what, like fucking, you know, Gorgoroth and like Behemoth and Cannibal Corpse and like fucking Obituary, dude. Like, it's so cool. And like nobody heard us, but I feel like if they did, they would be like, "That's the devil's music and you're going to hell." Because they took that shit very seriously there.
Dear Lord.
Like there was one occasion in class where I was humming the tune to Smoke on the Water. And the fella in the classroom was like, "There goes Paxton dipping into the world again." It's their thing. It's their thing. If they don't want to listen to it, they don't have to. I want to listen to it, so I'm going to.
Another cool thing I want to talk about is the fact there's Christian black metal that actually goes by like they call it un-black metal.
Yeah. So it's like the black metal got its name because of an album called Unholy Black Metal. So the first Christian black metal was called Holy Un-Black Metal. Like they just swapped the un around. So it's like Holy Un-Black Metal, and like they paint their crosses right side up and shit like that. Their shows are fun to watch. I don't know if I'd ever go to one, but like I've seen like a couple. I've like pulled up a couple concerts in like preparation for this, which obviously I didn't prepare too well if I don't know half the shit I'm talking about. But in preparation, I pulled up like concerts and shit to watch. And it was like right side up, like they were performing in a church. It looked like there was pews everywhere, and it was just like Jesus. Just fucking. It was so fun to watch, man.
There's a band called Crimson Moonlight that's actually really fucking dope.
Hell yeah.
They're like, they're fucking intense, dude. Like really intense.
Fuck yeah.
I feel like I just got Botox or something. I can barely move my like eyebrows up.
Do you do face paint very often?
No.
Okay, so it's something that you get used to if you do it a bunch. Your face will feel physically heavier, but if you do it often enough, you're just not going to notice it anymore. Like because I'm a fucking juggalo, I put on face paint, semi-regularly. Just
I
a
might have to
vibe.
beat that out because the black metal people might get pissed.
That I'm practicing my corpse paint while listening to ICP albums.
Like this
Jesus.
guy's a poser.
This guy,
By the way, anybody who likes black metal, like everybody's a poser. Everybody's a poser. There's a reason why you're a poser. There's a reason why I'm a poser. There's a reason why Paxton's a poser. Like,
I'm a poser because I listen to death metal, and death metal's too computerized and it's too accessible.
I don't know. I'm probably a poser because I'm American somehow.
That makes sense.
That's why it makes us both posers.
Oh yeah, we're not from Norway.
Fucking Florida, man. Like Florida is like the most uncool place, like uncold place ever. You know how many fucking mountains? It never snows here.
We should at some point in the future, we should take a trip to Norway and document it for the channel.
I'm down. Absolutely down.
Visit all like the old black metal record stores, like any sites that are.
The Helveta?
I think that's what it's called. Like Euronymous' old shop.
Yeah.
Before he got perforated. Yeah.
Dear God.
That was an event.
Before he got turned into a fucking pin cushion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was like by the end of that shit, dude, he was like that scene in Tom and Jerry when Tom is getting shot at and then he runs off and drinks water and it just starts.
Yeah. Yeah, man. He was turned into Swiss cheese, basically.
I feel bad that he was murdered. He was not the best person, admittedly. I think we can agree on like both circumstances. He was not the best person, but he got fucked up.
He got fucked up. The thing is from every major interview of anyone from back in the day will tell you that Euronymous was all talk. Like he wanted to be like this fucking the king of fucking edgelords in the black metal community.
Yeah.
If there were church burnings, he was the one responsible that people were burning churches. If someone got murdered, it was because he inspired them to murder somebody.
I told him to kill somebody, and he took my advice, and now it's great. And everyone's like, the cops are after us. It's like,
well, actually,
he was my advice.
He was the one who was like afraid, like, oh no, the cops are after us. Like, we need to like, lay low. Of course, like Varg is like, fuck you. Like, this is good for us. Like, we need people to fear us. We have
the publicity and the fear.
Yeah,
he has that tone in his voice where it's like, and then he sings and it's just.
Varg is very soft spoken. It's interesting.
He's a very soft
For such a
spoken.
vile human being, he's very soft spoken.
Yeah.
He's very articulate.
I learned this in like a history class, because like war history is very fascinating to me. I'm an anti-war individual. I feel like there are very few reasons why we should ever go to war with anybody.
Right.
That's just my affiliation. If anybody disagrees, go fuck yourself because you're wrong.
Anybody disagrees, I'm going to war with you.
Yeah.
You don't think I'm anti-war? I will come after you.
What you gonna do?
Listen here, brother.
Listen. Oh yeah.
Those pythons, motherfucker.
I'm gonna go way to the top.
The cream of the crop.
The cream. I am the cream of the crop.
Dude, I look like the cream of the crop right now, dude.
You look creamed upon.
The cream of the crop.
But there was a history class that I had, and there was a section that was about like the psychology of the worst people in history and like their methods. So like I learned about Vlad the Impaler, I learned about Hitler, I learned about Stalin, and I learned like, I don't know if he actually said this, but apparently he said something along the lines of, Hitler did, if you say something loud enough and often enough, eventually everybody will believe you. I don't know if he actually said that.
No.
But I mean,
it
like,
worked for him somehow.
It
like,
worked for him. Like he managed to convince enough people to fucking try and take over the world.
Yeah.
And then Varg was like, they have cool weaponry. That's why I like them. And then later on, he's like, I'm a fucking racist. Please leave.
He was
Yeah.
I don't know. There may be some people who are watching that are like big into black metal. He used to go on like YouTube and go on these like ridiculous rants.
He would do karate in the woods and then tell you why immigration's bad.
Yeah.
That's right. Like he would stand in the woods and like channel his fucking ki like he's a fucking Dragon Ball character. And then like just fire that shit out. And then he would come up to the camera. He's like, the biggest problem facing Europe today is immigration. It's like, will you fucking stop, you weird little man?
And I think his wife was just as bad as, from what I remember.
Apparently everybody that he was like close with to that degree are horrible people. His parents are racist pieces of shit who fully support him. He's a racist piece of shit who fully supports himself, obviously. I would not be shocked if his wife was also a racist piece of shit. I want to be crystal clear. I do not like Varg. I think he's funny and he's easy to make fun of. I do not like him. I want to make it clear.
Just a garbage person, man. Like
I've seen like interviews and shit. He makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Like, because he's so soft-spoken, even though he is such a vile person, it makes me uncomfortable. It's chilling. It's like watching Ted Bundy talk to somebody. Like, just absolute scum, but they're so calm about what they did.
Yeah, it's like watching like an interview of like any serial killer or something. It's like fascinating to like listen to this.
It's very fascinating, but at the same time, it's just like, it's chilling. Because someone who is that calm and that composed is capable of burning down churches and stabbing someone who used to be their friend.
Mind you, they didn't just stab this person. They stabbed them.
I think it was like 23 times.
Was it?
I think 23 was the magic number for him. And then for Faust, it was like 37 for the guy that he stabbed.
I'm Googling how many times he got stabbed. I'm probably on a watch list. Yeah, it's 23 times.
Yep.
2 to the head, 5 to the neck, 16 to the back.
Jesus Christ.
And like when it was happening, Euronymous was like knocking on people's doors, like trying to get away from him, like trying to wake people up. This was in the middle of the night when it happened. And Varg said it was self-defense.
Yeah, 23 times. And you follow him to make sure he's dead. It was self-defense.
You know what's weird too? Because Mayhem's bass player, Necro Butcher, is his name. That's his stage name.
Yeah.
He he claims that he was on his way to kill Euronymous himself.
I have seen that. He was doing this interview and like, I'm a fat person. I want to make that very, like, in case you, like, if you can't tell, I'll move the mics again. I'm a very fat person.
You're not fat, you're big bump.
Yeah. But everything that I saw of him back in the day, he was like very thin. But now he's like this fucking gorgeously plump individual. Like, he's a very handsome man. And he's wearing like these rings and shit. He's like, I was on the way to kill Euronymous myself. And it's like, that's fucking wild. Jesus Christ. I feel like everybody was going to kill Euronymous and Varg just got to him first.
It's interesting. Like, reading one of the quotes that Necro Butcher said, he said, at the time, he said, we were at ground zero after all the shit went down in 93, which is, I'm assuming, the murders, the first murder, the arson, Varg going public by being a fucking moron and going to a journalist to be written up in the newspaper. He said,
fucking
we were
insanity.
all enemies of the state, of the press, and the people of Norway. Black metal became an even smaller thing after that. Everything was blocked up and no one wanted anything to do with us. We didn't have any gigs, and if anyone wrote anything about us, it was always negative. We were banned from festivals, and most of our friends and business associates turned their backs on us. They talked shit about us because they didn't want to be associated with us. There were not only the musical aspects where you have a band, make music and tour, and maybe you have a flat tire or your guitars break or you have writer's block. We had all that shit happening as well as everyone working against us. That made it double shit. That's what he said. Basically he was fed up with the aftermath and all that shit, and I'm
mad about this publicity. I'm gonna go fucking murder somebody.
He wanted to kill Euronymous.
I can understand wanting to, but like, be like
as a figure of speech, man, I want to kill him. Like, no, I want to stab this guy to death.
Like, everyone's had the thought, like, you get cut off in traffic, or like someone looks at you the wrong way, or just like, I could fucking kill you right now. I mean, but like, to actually consider like, this is how this is going to go down, that's a whole other level to be at.
Right. And Varg claims the reason why he killed Euronymous is because he heard that Euronymous was going to make a snuff film and kill
Which is so
Varg,
stupid. It's so fucking stupid.
And torture him with a fucking taser.
Also, like, I don't know I don't know the tell of the tape here. But from all the pictures I've seen and like interviews and shit, Varg is he's like dad strong. Like he's a built fucking guy, and Euronymous was tiny.
Oh, Euronymous was short as shit, and just
I don't know how the hell he expected. It was like he was gonna shoot him with his electro pistol, as Varg put it. But like, even still, how the fuck was Euronymous supposed to drag his chunky ass out to the woods to do all this? Like, be realistic for 2 seconds.
He was all talk. He was always trying to make himself out to be this.
Too. It's like, if you know that somebody is all
he's
talk.
Like that fucking kid on Xbox that says he's gonna fuck your mom. But he's like, that was Euronymous. He was like, I'm gonna fuck your mom, Varg. And Varg got pissed and
killed him.
And he fucked his mom.
Jesus Christ.
It's just in the sense that he stabbed him. Pointed.
Yeah. But like, he knew that he was all talk. Because Varg was like, no, we gotta actually do this. Like, we gotta go public. We're gonna make people afraid of us. So, like, he knew Euronymous was all talk, and he was still just like, oh, I gotta defend myself.
Yeah.
The fuck, like, and his story doesn't make sense. Is it like, oh, it was self-defense? If you hear that somebody's gonna do something to you, you cannot just outright kill them. That's not how self-defense works.
Well, not to mention, he had someone fucking drive him there, and he apparently, he
rented a movie that they couldn't have skipped.
So it would look like he fucking was watching a movie at home, and I guess when he had his friend drive him to Euronymous' house, like a fucking moron, Varg gave him his credit card to pump gas. So there was literally a receipt of Varg being on the way to fucking Euronymous' house.
That's about as premeditated gets, and he wants everyone to be like, it was self-defense. I'm taking Varg's side in this.
He's like, no, I'm just going out for a stroll. Like,
I was going out for a stroll 12 hours from home and just happened, my knife slipped. I fell down all the way up the stairs to his apartment.
That's my favorite gas station.
Yeah, 8 hours away from my house. It's the only place I can get gas.
Gas stations, that one's in my most favorite gas station.
They have the individually wrapped Pop-Tarts.
Yeah.
I had to go.
They have the best wieners you've ever had in your life.
I accidentally opened the door to the complex and accidentally, I tripped, my shoelaces were untied, and I happened to fall up 8 flights of stairs and land outside of Euronymous' apartment. And then he came out and stood over me and was all like, hey. So I had to defend myself.
No, even the defending part was an accident. I mean, he was like, oh, God. Oh, watch out. This was fun.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Oh, what is happening right now? Oh, I'm so sorry.
I don't feel bad for Euronymous anymore. I take back what I said. Fuck him. He's an asshole. Everyone involved in that shit was horrible. They were all horrible people.
Fucking, dude.
It's the equivalent of Kyle from Michigan claiming to be the Lord of Darkness. That's what this is.
Kyle from Virginia who convinced his grandma to buy him a fucking record store so he can scam all of his buddies into making records with his label Death Like Silence, which is fucking, it's just so over the top cringy and just fucking and I'm saying this as a huge black metal fan. That shit is just fucking so dumb.
I if I had found that
you're still seething right now listening to this podcast.
But
fucking dude, they were part of fucking history, dude. Fucking dude, you're on. You made it. Fuck you, man. Was sick, dude.
That's
fucking words.
So I said I had 2 bad interactions with black metal fans. One of them was someone calling me a poser for just recently getting into it. The other one was a Mayhem fan.
Nice.
He got super pissed because he brought up Mayhem and I was like, oh, that's the fucking Euronymous.
Is that the death metal band from fucking Chicago?
No, it's the Euronymous situation and Dead and fucking the murders
Dead
and church
is the
runnings.
only one I feel bad for in the entire story.
Yeah.
Dead is the only person I feel bad for. The dude was
disturbed,
so mentally fucked up, and he was bullied through high school. He just upped his entire fucking life and left Sweden to join this fucking band. The guy was actually, he had a disease, which I need to probably look up and see.
So Qatar syndrome, isn't it?
Something like that. Basically, it's a mental.
You believe you're dead and you're not.
You believe that you're actually rotting from the inside out.
Yep.
Apparently, the serial killer Richard Ramirez suffered from this too.
Holy shit.
Another person who can get fucked. But
yeah, fuck him.
Dead, he was extremely suicidal. He was extremely depressed. He wanted to die. That was basically his existence is wanting to not exist.
Yeah.
But Euronymous would feed into this.
Like a piece of shit.
He would he would be like, well, if you want to be so fucking dead, why don't you yourself? Fucking do it. Just fucking do it.
We will have to censor that phrase, but everyone's gonna know what was said.
So to rephrase it, Euronymous was encouraging him
to cease to be.
To cease to be. Yes.
Which is disgusting behavior. Yeah. I do not give a fuck who you are. I don't give a fuck if you think you're close to somebody. I don't give a fuck if you hate somebody. Encouraging someone to remove themselves from the equation is one of the most vile things you can do. And that being said, I once again retract my statement that I Like, oh, it sucks that, he got murdered that way because he got fucked up. Thinking about this for more than 2 seconds, I retract that statement completely. He deserved it. He deserved to get fucking stabbed because he encouraged someone who was supposed to be his friend to remove themselves from the situation, which is disgusting. Like, hands down, it's fucking disgusting. So, he earned it. It just sucks that a fucking Nazi had to be the one to do it. That's the way I'm going to put it.
Just going back to Dad, dude, like, he had serious struggles, and
yeah,
Euronymous just, like, totally did a disservice. And also, fuck Hellhammer, too. That dude's a piece of shit, too. Fucking total psycho asshole. Like,
on a serious note, if you yourself are dealing with thoughts like that, find people who are willing to encourage you. Don't, because if you go to the wrong person, they will feed into it. There are horrible fucking people in this world, but there are also a lot of good people. And the best thing that you can do is either find someone who encourages you to be the best you that you can be, or cut out the people who don't do that.
100%.
Don't buy into the bullshit that people tell you. People have encouraged me to take that jump, and I cut them out of my life because of that, and I'm still here. So, please, for your own sake, for the sake of the people who care about you, anything like that, if someone is encouraging you to be the worst version of you possible, cut them out of your life. It's not going to be easy, but for your own sake and for being the best you that you can be, just cut them out. Honestly.
Yeah.
Dead was a victim who got taken advantage of by a sick piece of shit. And that sick piece of shit continued to exploit him even after his death. So,
oh yeah, immediately after his death, actually.
Yep.
He found Dad. Dad had slit his wrist, cut his fucking own throat, and shot his fucking brains out.
He wanted to be sure. He was done.
Yeah, so imagine stumbling on a friend, quote unquote friend of yours, and you find him literally in a pool of his own blood. His brain is literally out of his skull. And the first thing you do is you don't call the cops. You don't call anybody. What you do is you go to the store and you grab a fucking camera. You go back and you take pictures of it because that would make a great album cover. This is what Euronymous did. He went to the store, got a fucking camera.
Dude's a piece of shit. There's no other way to put it. Euronymous is a piece of shit.
Mm-hmm. And Hellhammer thought it was fucking awesome.
There are some disgusting people in the world. On a more fun note, black metal is very theatric. And if you're like me and you like stage shows, black metal is going to be a fun experience because they do all kinds of weird shit on stage. Like fucking, Watain is the one that has the crucified people on stage, like the pig heads, right?
Gorgoroth does some crazy shit too. They'll have goat heads and live crucifixions and
fucking
shit.
Wild, dude. That shit's amazing. I love theatrics. I love stage shows. That looks really cool now.
I'm getting there.
The fucking streaks. That looks really. It's going slow, but that looks sick as fuck. Are you putting nail polish on your face?
No.
What is it?
I'm not sure. My wife gave it to me. I have no idea.
What is it? I have no fucking idea.
Liquid liner is what it's called.
If you like theatrics, if you like big stage shows, black metal is going to be a fun experience for you, provided you stay away from certain circles, which I encourage everyone to do. Regardless of what genre you're into, there are certain circles of people that you just shouldn't associate with. So I encourage you to be the smart man or woman or anything else and fuck off when people start doing crazy shit. Be careful. I guess is the best advice I can give is just be careful because people suck. That really looks cool. I don't know what that black stuff is. That really looks cool. That pops very, very well. I like that a lot.
It's whatever liquid liner is. That's what all those.
Oh, it's eyeliner.
Wow. Yeah, that's what it is.
As someone who has done the whole makeup thing with like eyeliner and mascara and blush and everything, liquid liner is one of the best fucking things you can use. Because if you're using like a pencil to do your lines and you're new to it, you're going to stab yourself in the fucking eye.
Oh, no.
Awful. And that shit burns. I don't know what it's made out of because I don't read ingredients of things that I wear because I don't know, I'm stupid. But it feels like it's made out of fucking salt. It just burns if it gets in your eyes. I like it because mine doesn't pop very well because like mine is just fucking thick ass oil shit. But yours pops really well. I like that. It looks fucking sick.
It's getting there. I look less like a lime and sort of. Like,
it's all been blended together, so you don't see a bunch of streaks now. My question is, how are you going to get the paint off? Because you're using regular paint.
I think I might use like gasoline or
gasoline and a torch.
With some propane.
Yeah, I like propane and propane accessories.
That's actually pretty spot on. Holy shit!
Do I look like I know what a JPEG is? I just want a picture of a goddamn hot dog. I love King of the Hill, man. King of the Hill's my shit. Hank Hill was Mike Judge, I think, is the creator. He also did Beavis and Butthead.
He also did fucking Silicon Valley and Idiocracy and a bunch of other brilliant shit.
Yeah, dude. Hank Hill was inspired by an AC repairman.
Was it?
Yep. So this AC dude came over and was just like, well, you know, it looks like your AC's on the fritz and I can put in some replacement parts, but there's no guarantee it's going to keep working because I don't exactly know what's wrong with it. Like, just, you know, always prepared, like pin in the pocket type shit. And he was like, that would make a good character. But he changed it to propane because why not?
I love it.
I sell propane and propane accessories. Oh, fuck, dude, King of the Hill goes so hard, man.
Dude, I look like shit.
I do as well.
Dude, yours actually looks smooth. I look like a fucking...
So...
I look so flaky, dude.
The next time we do it, seriously, get some like oil-based face paint like this shit. And what you do is when you're putting on your white, pat it on, and then like blend it together.
All right.
And do like go over the same places more than once, shit like that. And like leave your eyes without any color. So that way when you do your big splotch of black, it doesn't turn gray immediately.
Okay. I gotta add, I think I need to add a little bit more to this.
Yeah. For anyone who doesn't know, the original plan was to go over like history and bands in one episode and then controversy in other, but we've mixed everything together. So I have no idea what we're doing. Every fucking time we come up with a plan, we just blend it together and like throw it on a pan and like throw it in the oven at 350 degrees for 38 minutes until it puffs up and gets all delicious.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Extra thick crust.
Whenever you're cooking you some ribs, what you need to do is you remove that silver skin. And then you mix together Worcestershire sauce, mustard, your favorite seasoning.
Say mustard again?
Mustard. And then mix it all together in a bowl. Rub it on the meat side. Put it meat side down in some foil. Close it up. Put it in the fridge overnight. Then take it out the next morning. Throw it on your grill. Throw it on your smoker. Once it's almost done, you're going to take it out that foil. You're going to get some different foil. You're going to put slices of butter and barbecue sauce down. And then you're going to lay it meat side down on that barbecue sauce and butter. Then re-wrap it. And then throw it back on that smoker until it's done. And what that's going to do is it's going to trap in all the delicious flavor. And everything's going to be good. You're going to enjoy yourself. You're going to have a good time.
And that's cooking. Black Metal Part 1.
Yeah! Ribs.
Thank you guys so much for being here. The next episode will come very quickly.
Yes.
Be on the lookout.
Come.
Yes.
Come.
That's it. Come.
Come. Come. As you come. As you come. You come into me. Come. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We're mature.
Yeah. We'll see you guys next time. I'm probably gonna look the same, if not worse. So,
Metal.
black metal.